Hello everyone and welcome. A few weeks back I did a review of a compact and lightweight portable air duster. That little guy became so popular in my family that my wife took it and I can't get it back. I also found it very convenient for all sorts of DIY projects aside from the typical keyboard cleaning. So instead of fighting with my wife over that duster, I decided to get myself another one. Aside from that, I thought I may as well do a review for my viewers and let you guys know how this other brand performs. Instead of getting the same duster a second time, I decided to try a new one. So today we're going to be looking at this 180,000 RPM duster vacuum from Hon Guan. This little guy seems to be popular online since I came across this name several times when doing my research. A lot of other channels have reviewed this guy and had positive results. So I decided to give it a try for myself and see how it performs. So if you've been looking for a good quality and affordable air duster but didn't know which one to get, then stick around as I unbox and test this guy. Alright guys, so when you unbox this guy, this is everything you get. So let's talk a little bit about some of the features that this guy has. But before we get started testing this guy, do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. That way you get notified every time I do another product review video, DIY project, or a sale at a big box store where I can help you save more money. Alright then, so this is the 2-in-1 blower and vacuum from Hon Guan, available on Amazon, link in description below. At the time of making this video, this little guy retails for $42.39. The warranty on this guy is 1 year. And the dimensions on this guy are 6 inches by 3 inches by 1 inch in thickness. The weight on this guy is only 9.5 ounces. So what do you get when you unbox this guy? Well, you get the blower itself, you get a vacuum attachment, you get all sorts of nozzles, cleaning utensils, a cord to power it up, and the owner's manual that covers everything about this guy, how to set it up, take care of it, all that kind of good stuff. This little blower has a maximum blowing power of 180,000 RPMs. One cool feature of this blower is that it has stepless speed adjustments. That way you can select whatever speed you want from 50,000 RPMs at the minimum to 180,000 RPMs at the maximum just by holding the up and down buttons and changing the speed to whatever it is that you like. This little guy has a large capacity 8,000 milliamp hour battery for a good long run time. This little guy also has an 18-watt Type-C fast charging capability, so you can charge it up in record time. This little blower also has a built-in flashlight, which some of the other ones do not, so this little guy will help you to see what you're doing even in dark areas. This blower is also a vacuum that has plenty of power to clean up all sorts of stuff, even in the smallest of spaces. The small size of this unit makes it very convenient to get into really tight places where a normal conventional vacuum may not fit. The best part about these air dusters is that you no longer need to spend money on constantly buying more wasteful cans of compressed air. Whether dusting off your keyboard, cleaning your computer, or doing all sorts of DIY projects, this little guy will give you infinite blowing power without having to spend more money. Buy one blower and eliminate having to buy hundreds of cans of compressed air for whatever project you're trying to do. So let's take a little closer look at this guy and then we'll see how it performs. Alright guys, so let's take a little closer look at this guy, get a little bit better acquainted with it. So here you have the duster blower vacuum all-in-one, and this nozzle is detachable, so you can attach, the blower goes on this side and the vacuum goes on this side back here. This is just one of the nozzles that you get with it. In fact, you get a vacuum attachment. Like I said, this goes on the back part of it. And then you have this other attachment here where basically you can use these little nozzles that come with it. So you have a little pointy one there, you have a little bigger one there, and you have a smaller one there, and they all come attached. You can detach them, I guess, if you want to, but this is the way they come in the package, and they all basically just fit inside one another, basically for ease of storage. So you have these guys right here. But this little guy right here, let's put this nozzle back in. It basically just twists and lock, that easy to do. On the front here, there you have the LED for the flashlight. I'll show you that in a moment. But on the front here, here is your power button. You use this guy. You basically press and hold, and that is how you turn it on. And it always defaults to the highest speed when you turn it on. That is your battery indicator right there, showing you how much power you have. This right there is your flashlight button. Use that guy to turn it on. And there you have your flashlight. Pretty powerful, actually, for such a little tiny LED. I mean, look at that. It really lights up your way very nicely. If you're doing something in the dark, it is actually pretty strong. So that is a good flashlight for emergency or anything that you need whatsoever. So that's pretty convenient right there. On the back here you have your up and down buttons, and that is how you select the speed that you want to have. And that's your USB charging port right there for powering this guy up. On the back of it, not much right there at all. No buttons or anything on the back. Just some venting on the bottom. You can see the batteries in there, and that'll keep it cool. The batteries obviously live in this part right here. And there you can see the blower motor right there. And from the other side, you can see it right there as well. You can't see it when it's spinning, but that shows you everything there. Not much on the top. Very easy to guide to use right there. And like I said, let's take a look at the, well, I already showed you, it turns itself off after a little while so you can conserve the battery. Wow, look at. And then you can go down. Let's go down. That is way too powerful. Let's go down to the lowest one. And I think that's the lowest setting. And you see, that is not too bad. That's not too crazy high right there. And then you just go up from there. You either click it, hold it, whatever you want to do. That gets way too strong. And that is the lowest right there. And then you just stop it. That is crazy powerful. That is really a strong blowing right there. So I don't know how it came across on the camera, on the microphone, but you could see the camera shaking and all that. This guy has a ton of power to it, and we're going to do some testing with it in a little bit. But that tells you everything about that guy right there. So there you have it. All right, guys, so let's do a little bit of testing and see how strong this guy is at blowing solid objects around. So here we have a tray that I have full of nuts and bolts and stuff like that. So let's make a little pile out of this guy and see how this guy blows everything around. That way you can see how it started, and we'll go from there. Now I have this guy here, and I put one of the nozzles on it. I separated it from the other one so it's easier to demonstrate. So let's turn this guy on. There you go. That's at the highest speed. Let's see how this turbo mode on this guy actually performs. Let's go. Well, look at that. It blows so hard it pushes my hand back. Let's see if I can show you on the camera. Look at that. I can't basically even hold it. It's blowing so strong it blows it out of my hand. It seems silly, but if I were to let it go, it would just fly off like that. It just is that strong. So it has a lot of blowing power. This guy, they're not kidding when they say 180,000 RPMs. That is really way too powerful. But if you need power, it does a good job. All right, guys, I just swept my hardwood floors, and I basically made a nice, neat little pile right here so we can vacuum this guy up. We're going to test this little guy and see how it performs as a vacuum. You see that I have the vacuum attachment on it right now. Let's turn this guy on and see what it can do. And there you have it right there. Look at all that garbage and debris that this guy picked up. In a flash, it's all gone. It's all inside this little guy. So it did a really good job, almost as powerful as a regular full-size vacuum. So there you go. All right, guys, and no video would be complete if I didn't show you what this guy is mainly used for, which is cleaning your keyboard. So let's power this guy up and go through and clean my little keyboard right there and see what it can do. Let's power you on. There you go. Does a great job at cleaning the keyboard. My keyboard itself is not really dirty, but we had some granules and dirt back here. You saw how I blew all that away very nicely. So it does a great job as far as cleaning up your keyboard and your peripherals. All right, guys, so before we close out this video, I wanted to point out a couple of things that you may find interesting, especially if you're a DIYer like me and you do all sorts of projects around your home, your vehicle, whatever the case may be. These little blower vacuums are so useful that you can, if you're creative, you can use them for all sorts of DIY projects far beyond the normal uses that they have. Cleaning your keyboards or vacuuming up your car seats, stuff like that. You can go way beyond that. Ever since I started getting these guys to do reviews, I have been using them for all sorts of stuff. That's why, like I said, my wife took the other one. My daughter took the second one. Now I am hiding this one so nobody can find it. I'm hiding it in my garage so nobody can find it because I use it for all sorts of projects. I've done all sorts of projects over the past few months where I had to get into really tight areas. And up until now, this guy has been my go-to blower to get it into really hard to reach area. But look at the size of it. Compare it to this guy. This guy actually blows stronger and gets into tighter areas than that guy right there. And that guy also works as a vacuum if you put an attachment right here. This guy works as a blower and a vacuum. It is lightweight, compact, has a good strong battery, and blows stronger than that guy. So it is a no-brainer. This guy is my go-to blower now instead of that one. I've been using that one for years, and now I use this guy instead because it takes up no room at all, fits into every project that I need to do, and it really has a lot of power. For really small areas that you get into tight areas, this guy's really great. Now, if you're going to be blowing out the floor in your shop, you need a big blower like this. That is not what this is meant for. This is meant for really tight areas and a lot of power. So these guys are fantastic for all sorts of DIY projects. So I just want you to keep that in mind when you're looking at this video. Don't think it's just for cleaning your keyboards and stuff like that. Think more out of the box. Think about using it for all sorts of other projects, and you'll be happy that you have one of these on hand because they can do so much more. So there you have it, guys. If you're looking for a compact, economical vacuum blower, keyboard cleaner, DIY project doer, all sorts of stuff, check this guy out. Check out the links below for all the information. Hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye for now.